I guess spoiler warning, is that a thing for Doom games? I guess it is now. Doom Eternal is a fun game. It's also an annoying game when that Marauder shows up with his ghost dog, and then I kill it, and he immediately spawns it again, and like, can you just stop for a second? Nope, nope. Marauder aside, this game has some fun new mechanics like the meat hook. It's got some incredible level design with gorgeous new locations. It has a story.
Guts. Huge guts. Kill them. Must kill them all.
For some reason. But one of my favorite additions is the collectible cheat codes. Now, cheat codes get a bad rap, but I believe that Doom Eternal not only demonstrates the gameplay value of cheat codes, but the artistic value as well. Now, right off the bat, I want to clarify, I'm going to talk about developer-added cheat codes. If you use an aimbot software to win a game like Overwatch, you're kind of trash. That sucks, don't do it. And maybe someday I'll do something about mods, which I think can be a form of cheating. I would argue perhaps that things like the Game Shark and the Game Genie were early forms of game mods. But what I'm specifically talking about are cheats included by developers as part of the game that ships to players. And every game that has them does them a bit differently. In Doom Eternal, cheat codes work like this. Throughout the level, you can find collectibles like toys or lore dumps, but this game adds cheat codes that you can find in the form of floppy disks. These unlock optional cheats you can access to replay levels that you've already completed. Some of them are named after codes that would be familiar to players of the classic Doom, like IDDQD or IDKFA. While IDDQD turned on God mode in the classic games, here it permanently activates the temporary armor that you get when you suck at the game too much. IDKFA, meanwhile, unlocks all of your weapons and the mods for those weapons, and then there's your basic infinite ammo and infinite lives cheats. Now, most modern games, those that include cheats anyway, tend to disable any kind of progress or achievements if you use cheats. You shouldn't get credit, the game says, for killing 50 headcrabs with a pistol if you were invincible when you did it. Doom Eternal, on the other hand, doesn't do this. You can still earn progression by playing the game with cheats on. A loading screen even calls this out. The only thing that's disabled when cheats are on is the Slayer Gate, but all other progression, including various upgrade points for completing challenges, can be earned while cheating. But why does the game allow this? Isn't that unfair? Well, no. It's just a different way of playing the game, and the developers very clearly intended for the game to be played this way. In a way, it's not all that different from dropping the difficulty level, but by building the game around cheats, the developers can craft new and different experiences that aren't limited to making the game easier. For example, one of the last cheat codes you unlock in Doom Eternal is called Party Mode. With this cheat enabled, killing demons in a certain way will cause them to burst into confetti, which is hilarious, but an unlisted feature of Party Mode is the addition of sound effects. Like it's a damn Looney Tune. And this changes the feel of the entire game. For example, here's a fight in Exultia with the normal music and no cheats. Now, compare that to roughly the same scene, but with Party Mode on and, crucially, the Doom music turned off. The combat mechanics aren't actually different at all. This Party Mode is the only cheat I turned on for this segment. But it feels like another game entirely. It's not even just that it's funny, it makes me play the game differently. With Party Mode on, I found the demons less threatening and was more incentivized to play a sillier playstyle. Rather than rushing in to shoot demons as aggressively as possible, I was playing with them, like they're actors at a haunted house. It's worth pointing out that this isn't just an after-the-fact addition. The comedic slapstick of Doom is baked into the game's design. In an interview with Hollywood Reporter, Doom Eternal's game director Hugo Martin has specifically cited movies like Evil Dead 2 as inspiration for the goofy horror style they wanted to go for, saying, "That was a big touchstone for us. When you look at something like that," referring to Evil Dead 2, "there's the perfect balance between gore and slapstick humor. It's not really taking itself too seriously." Following Hugo's instructions, I turned on infinite ammo and almost god mode, along with party mode, to have even more fun with the game. During one of the later levels, I started playing around with this adorable, squishy Mancubus boy. Come on, come on, come on up, come on, come on. Come on, come on. Nope, 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 now I'm down here, now I'm down here, come on. Oh, no, 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 now I'm going back, ow, ow, nope, 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 now I'm back up here, come on, come on. That is the face of a Mancubus defeated. This is the kind of experience I can't get from the normal game mode. I'll waste ammo or health that I might need later, especially on higher difficulty levels, and mostly I'm just not in the mood for it. This slapstick, goofy mode makes me feel more playful. The game is using a different combination of sights, sounds, and motion to invoke a unique feeling in me. Which is what art is. But hold on now, I hear you say. That's not really cheating. That's just a different game mode. To which I would say, yeah. Exactly. All cheat codes are, effectively, a variant mode of the game that allows for an alternative gameplay style. GoldenEye for the N64 famously had basic cheats that could make you invulnerable, but it also had just-for-fun mechanics, like DK mode, which made enemies' heads gigantic. This seems like it's purely a silly game mode and not really a cheat, right? Except that there's a lot more room for error when going for a headshot on a head that takes up a third of your screen. It was literally easier to win in a game mode that was ostensibly just a goof. By including cheat codes in the game at all, whether hidden entirely like the text codes you had to type in the original Doom, or discoverable like the quote-unquote cheat codes in Doom Eternal, developers are intentionally allowing players to modify their game to create a new experience. Side note, Folding Ideas has a great video that goes more in depth into this idea of intended play and how if the content exists, it must by definition be something the developer expects players to do. I'll link that into the description, it's really good. In the purest cheating sense of a cheat code, they can allow players to craft a game experience without certain stressors that they're maybe not a fan of. StarCraft, for example, has cheat codes that make production of units faster but keeps the cost the same. Or you can get more money by using a certain code, but play the game at a normal pace. Maybe you enjoy the story of StarCraft, but strategy isn't your thing and you'd like to make it a little easier. It's sort of like putting up the guardrails while bowling. But StarCraft also includes a cheat that wins a level for you automatically. If all you wanted to do was win without doing anything, this would be the most effective way to do it. But then why do things like invincibility or infinite resources continue to exist? There is a version of the gameplay that can still be fun, if less challenging, by playing with cheats enabled. And it's a version that can't be gained by playing through the game as normal. For me, that version of the game is constructing as many carriers as the game allows and targeting every single one of them on a single Zergling named Steve halfway across the map because he pissed me off. This emotionally gratifying moment of using disproportionate force to end Steve's life is an experience that is utterly unique to game modes with cheats enabled. Meanwhile, Saints Row the Third, a game whose entire philosophy seems to boil down to GTA but make it fashion, allows you to upgrade your character to the point of godhood. You can run forever, get infinite ammo, and even reduce the damage you take to 0. But here's a twist. These aren't actually cheat codes. They're just options you unlock if you play enough. Does that even count as a cheat? Or is jumping off a skyscraper, belly flopping onto the concrete below, then dusting yourself off and shooting cops with the Murica gun for 10 minutes straight somehow the normal way to play the game? The answer is yes, by the way. The Saints Row franchise embraces free gameplay that lets players feel powerful and create chaos without ever specifically labeling it as a cheat, even though it clearly is. All challenge is gone from the game by this point, but do you really care? Is the point of Saints Row the Third to be hard? Or is it to make things blow up in new and exciting ways? In some cases, even cheats can make a game harder. One of Doom Eternal's cheats is Famine Mode, which stops demons from dropping armor or health when they die. which in this game is a bit like working at a standing desk while standing on a mat made of Lego bricks. It's going to hurt, and for a very long time, and you have no one to blame but yourself. But this is also an entirely new experience created by modifying the rules of the game. The emotion it invokes in the player might be unfathomable rage, but isn't that what Doom is all about? If you want to more authentically feel the righteous fury that drives Doom Guy to barge straight into heaven and punch God, then try playing without health drops. Now, Doom Eternal's cheats are built in and very obviously discoverable. They even show where to find them on the map, for crying out loud. But the more traditional definition of cheat codes, where there's a secret command that's technically built into the game, but you have to find it somewhere else and enter it manually, and it was probably there as a debugging tool for developers, that has morphed over time and now more frequently takes the form of developer console commands. Games like Quake and Half-Life popularized this method of entering cheat codes, and games tend to turn off progress tracking if you use them. But aside from basics like God mode or infinite ammo, these allow even more creativity by allowing players to dive into the parameters of the game itself and create their own experiences with more control than they would normally have. One of my favorite YouTubers, DougDoug, uses console commands in games like Skyrim to create entirely new experiences, like seeing how many bears each city in Skyrim can fight off.
Being ganged up on the bears, that could be bad for him. Okay, the two bears over there have picked off the beggar. This guard's holding... Oh, the guard's dead now. Okay, bears running around everywhere. This bear is going after the child.
Now, there's no way in hell anyone at Bethesda designed their game with the expectation that someone would eventually use it specifically to create bear city invasions. But they did intend for it to be possible. You don't even have to modify the game in any way to enable console commands. They're just there if you hit the tilde key. In this way, Skyrim's console commands aren't that dissimilar to Mario Maker. In that game, players are able to create comedic, entertaining, or sadistic levels with the tools that are available to them. How are these tools, presented in a clean, user-friendly UI, all that different from Skyrim's more jargony console commands? Well, the only difference is in presentation. Both are essentially palettes, allowing players to paint their own gaming experiences. Cheat codes, in whatever form they take, offer players a choice of how they would like to experience a game. Unlike most other forms of media, video games are uniquely positioned to adapt to player choices. You can choose whether to use the shotgun or the plasma rifle. You can choose whether you want to play on I'm Too Young to Die or Nightmare. And you can choose whether you want to complete level challenges the first time around the hard way or come back and do it with cheat codes on. Now, is there joy to be found in playing a game the default way, honing your skill, and overcoming the challenges that a game presents to you? Absolutely. But is there also joy to be found in forcing a marauder to permanently hide behind his shield because you have infinite ammo with the Unmaker and all that he has is that f***ing ghost dog? Also yes. There is more to glean from video games than accomplishment alone. Cheat codes, whether hidden or discoverable, are in games because the developers chose to include them, and by avoiding them or looking down on them as cheap or lesser than, you lose some of the comedy, some of the thrill. You miss out on some of the art. So, this wasn't the video I actually planned to make this month. I have something with a little more research behind it coming next month. This just happened to be something I could do to fill the time. I think I don't like making content that has like a shelf life, but I will say right now things are not normal for most people. Most people are quarantined or isolating or social distancing, and pretty much everybody's routine has been disrupted. And if you're not operating at 100% right now, I want you to know that that's okay. That's normal. That is okay. And by the way, if you are in one of those positions where you have to go out and work, or you're in the healthcare industry, Godspeed to you. Please stay safe. I know this is a difficult situation for everybody, and we're kind of all in this together apart. But I think it's going to be a little while before things are back to normal. But it's okay if you have a hard time adapting to the temporary normal. Just text the people you care about, call them, video chat, live stream, whatever you do to connect with people. We've been doing Jackbox games, like with video chatting with our friends. It's not what we'd normally do, but it's still great. Like, find ways to connect with people, find people, talk to them, tell people you love them, and try to stay safe. Oh, and here's my kitty. This is Harley. She's an anger kitten, and she will scream if you touch her, so we're not touching her. Staying apart. Stay apart. I love you.